All right, so we got that video with Cory Barlog crying. What other developer do you want to see crying on camera?
Shigeru Miyamoto.
I know, wouldn't that be great? Oh, Mario, he's doing so well.
That was slightly
That's
offensive.
racist.
Slightly offensive. We don't tolerate that here. Very offensive. Multiplayer does not endorse such offensiveness.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Multiplayer. Yeah, it's gonna be another good episode.
And we seem to be missing another person yet again.
Yeah, so once again, if you can count, we got 2 people instead of 3 this week. We're keeping it lean and mean. Guillermo, his flight got delayed. What a loser.
I don't know where he's coming from or where he's going, but
I don't know.
He's just flying.
But he's just flying, baby. Yeah. But he's so it's just us 2 again this week. It's gonna be another good one. I am. We're gonna do like a dual host thing this week. We're gonna try something new. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So I am one of your hosts, Zach Matscanis, alongside second host,
second half of the host, Javier Ortiz.
Woo!
That's me.
Yeah, and if you're watching this on YouTube, check us out on iTunes, Google Play. We're now on Stitcher.
Ooh, yeah. Stitcher Radio.
Yeah, we're
nice.
on there.
Right on.
And soon to be Spotify. So check out that audio version. If you're watching or listening to that audio version, check us out on YouTube. You can see our fun set that's coming along. Still got to do some things to the wall, but that does not matter today.
There's a Hylian shield up there.
There is. You can't see it.
It's off camera, but it's up there.
But I can tell you, it looks pretty dope.
Yeah.
We'll do some Instagram posts at some point. But none of that matters. Today we're going to talk about some funness. Some fun news.
Yeah. So lots of stuff happening.
Lay it
this
on
week.
us. Host number 2.
So this, I just want to bring up Nintendo Labo real quick.
Bring it up.
Because I went to the store yesterday to pick up my PS4 Pro God of War Edition. And right next to it, they had it looks nice, right? Yeah. They had another really nice box set of the Labos. And I thought it was really cool looking. I really want to play it. Nintendo got Bill Nye to get on and play it as well.
Which I thought was pretty rad that they kind of have this Bill Nye endorsed system, or not, peripheral game kind of combo.
Yeah.
I think Bill Nye is the perfect person.
Yeah.
To sponsor
Nintendo
Labo. This guy is just, he's the Bill Nye the Science Guy.
He's there because he clearly understands what the point of this is. It's for kids to get a better to get a knowledge of building stuff and it's young engineering, obviously not as complex, but that's where you lay the groundwork for doing that kind of stuff.
There's some interesting things in it. There's a ton of science involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
When you really you think about because Nintendo uses every part of the Joy-Con for Labo, so
they
use
how it works.
The rumbles, the AR sensors, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
and the infrared too.
It's the as a kid, thinking about that stuff, it's how does this thing work?
Mm-hmm.
And then you could break that down mentally and figure out okay, so there's a pulley in the arm to the robot thing.
This sensor causes this to happen. But it's also the robot's a good example because the inside of that thing is crazy complex.
Yeah.
It's gears turning and strings pulling, and it's it's complicated. It's an old school engineering from I wouldn't say the Roman ages because they use a lot of pulley systems, but it's a very broken down version of those big scale engineering projects, which I think is really cool, and people need to get off Nintendo and be this is stupid, they're selling us cardboard, and it's well, that's not the point. You gotta understand. It's not for you, 30-year-old man angry at Nintendo. You're not the target for this.
Go back to Call of Duty.
Just play other games. Play games.
It's for kids and kids at heart. It's it's definitely something I would love to get all the sets of the Labo and just because I've always been a big Lego guy growing up. So it was something that just kind of, and I never followed any of the instructions and that stuff.
Yeah, it's literally just go. Just look at a picture and just try and make that.
Yeah.
It's really complicated, but it's fun. You know, it makes you think. But it's also, I think it's gonna be interesting. I don't know if they've done this yet. I know they have customizable separate sets that you can buy separately for painting or doing whatever you want to your kits. It'd be interesting to see if they came out with Nintendo licensed you can make like Mario stickers or something, or like make it look like Mushroom Kingdom-y or Donkey Kong-y. Like, I thought that'd be kind of cool if they ever do that. They don't have to, because
like customization kits.
Yeah. But I mean, you could go straight up to like an arts and crafts store and just do whatever you want to your Labos, which I think is awesome.
But that's not a Nintendo licensed kit.
True. You go to Michael's and get your non-Nintendo licensed paint.
I need an extra $40 tacked onto my kits, okay, for that Nintendo license.
Yeah, I feel it. But yeah, I mean, obviously we haven't bought it yet. That's going to change because I want to get it. I want to get both versions. But I think it's really cool. I think it's a cool concept, and I don't care what anybody says, because
it seems to be like everybody seems to be liking it.
Yeah.
You know, it's got the Metacritic user score 7.5 right now.
Yeah, right? Not bad. I mean, it is exactly what they said it would be. Like, it's for kids who want to build stuff and like play these mini games with what they build, which I think is perfectly fine, and it's a great idea. Like, and again, for those who are angry 30-year-old man, dude, it's not for you.
Go play some Wolfenstein 2,
man.
Like it's on the Switch too. It's got the Switch has everything now. From little kids all the way to some grown-ups. And like, so keeping on that topic, another cool thing, which I think is really interesting, is this old game from the 90s, going back, called called Night Trap. Yeah. And a lot of people might not know what that is. But there was an era in the 90s, very short-lived era, where they wanted to make FMV games, full motion video games. So it's basically like, it's like watching a VHS tape, which is what they wanted to do. The people who made Night Trap, it was these developers called Digital Pictures, I think, something like that. And they had the idea of making a console that was VHS based. So you pop in your VHS and you somehow play a game through the VHS, and it's using like, real live actors doing stuff. And a lot of people thought that's like where video games were gonna end up. It's like
why not?
FMV videos and whatever like the next step of that would be.
Yeah. It's like you own the movie, like you're controlling what happens in your movie, which. I'm glad that's not the case. I would much rather have like Kratos and stuff.
I know.
But yeah, so
we got there in a different way.
We did, and I'm perfectly fine with the way we got there. Yeah. But yeah, so this game, which came out in the 90s, was originally on the Sega CD, I think.
Sega CD.
Yeah, so it was a Sega CD game, and Nintendo was like, this is never going to be on a Nintendo console because it features like girls like getting killed by these dudes who want to murder them for some reason. And now 20 some years later, that game is confirmed for Switch, and which I think is really interesting. Not because of the game, like it's a funny game, like very campy, whatever, and like it'll be fun to play.
Yeah.
But like it's not that reason I bring it up. My reason is like, now that this is on Switch, after Nintendo before has said this is never going to be on Nintendo console, this is on the Switch. Crash Bandicoot's on the Switch. Wolfenstein 2 is coming on the Switch. Doom is on the Switch. Skyrim, like it's
Spyro.
Where, like, and it kind of led me to thinking like, well, where's the limit?
Yeah.
Like, what can't come to a Nintendo Switch now?
See, it's I don't think there is a limit, because here's the thing: when it comes to like a really successful Nintendo console, you get a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Like you can use the Wii as an example, where the Wii, it was so successful. Everybody wanted to put something on it. Yeah. And so we had this weird, we had a very weird variety of games where, we had our Mario Galaxies and our Zeldas and all that fun stuff. And then, we had like Carnival Games and all this shovelware.
Yeah, that's right.
But then we also had Manhunt 2.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of... we had like Resident Evil 4. They did like
they brought
kind of
on the Wii.
Not a remaster, but kind of a port with Wii motion controls. We had Mad World. Wasn't that the name of the game?
Yeah, it was. I looked that one up.
Yeah, it was a black and white game. It was just full of gore. Like you're just murdering people with like chainsaws and all sorts of stuff. Super cool game though. Yeah. Like I love like the art direction. It was literally black and white and cool. Just red blood. Just a lot.
Like a comic book, kind of like a graphic novel.
Exactly. So the Wii, like I think you can look at that for inspiration as far as thinking about where the Switch is going to go. Where it's just like, we have a system that is outpacing other things that are on the market right now, but it's not as powerful of a console. Let's get creative. Let's put some stuff on it. So you have games like I said, Mad World was made exclusively for the Wii. Same thing with Manhunt 2. I think it finally got ported to like PS3 and stuff, but it was originally made for the Wii.
Right.
You had like these weird ports / like their own versions of like Call of Duty and stuff like that came to it.
Yeah. I think they have like Wii Zombie or something like that. Or was
there was Zombie U that came from
Zombie U was Wii U. Never mind. Sorry.
But see, like Wii U and like even GameCube are perfect examples of systems that didn't sell well, and so not very much came to them.
Yeah.
They have a couple gems that came out, like especially like GameCube had like Resident Evil 4 that was exclusive for a moment. Killer 7 was exclusive for a moment, things like that. But for the most part, it's very limited library. Same thing with the Wii U. Yeah. There's great games on there, but it's very, very limited.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when your systems don't sell well.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's like the Switch is selling well, so people want to put things on it.
Yeah.
So it's like they're going to cram whatever they can onto it.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting that we're getting like, we're getting developers like Ubisoft and Bethesda are clearly backing the Switch.
Yeah.
Like regularly. So it's interesting to see like what else, like who's the next like big developer, like let's put our stuff on the Switch too. Like what else can happen? I think it's an interesting thing to look at because like you said, the Switch is like, and I think it's the fastest selling system in history, or in at least in America.
In the US it's the fastest selling system.
Yeah, in like their first year. Yeah. So it's clearly selling. Yeah. Like it's everyone's getting it, everybody wants one. So obviously developers are looking at it and saying like, all right, how else? Because it also has like all the indie games are on there.
Yeah.
Like a game like Outlast is on there, and Outlast is another one that's like brutally violent.
1 and 2, right?
Yeah. Brutally violent. It's a walking sim, but still, like it's a scare, like a horror game.
Like a running sim.
Yeah, running sim with a camera. But yeah, like a game like that is another example of like the not Nintendo way of a game that doesn't follow their like code or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like this game, Night Trap, again, like it's campy and silly, but it's still a game that they didn't want to bring to Nintendo. And it's like this happened in I think it was the 80s as well. There's this game called Chiller, which was an arcade cabinet game, and it was like, have you ever heard of that game?
No, I haven't actually.
So Chiller, God, it was so weird. You're basically playing someone who tortures people, and like literally you're in this castle, and every like room you go into, you've got like bodies just like strung up, or like they're in like the stretchy things where their bodies are stretching or like being decapitated. It's really messed. Like there's no story. It's
just making this game.
Dude, I forget the developer, but I can look it up. But that game is like you play this torturer guy who's just like torturing people for no reason. And I look up Chiller, brings up AC. But like, here, I'll put up images for you. Sorry, podcast listeners. But like, you play.
Oh like, yeah, dude, that looks.
It's literally like you're killing people, and the people are being tortured for no reason. There's no reason at all. And it got ported to the NES. But when it did, Nintendo was like, all right, we need to make this make more sense for our audience. So what they did was like, they like recolored it and whatever, and they're like, wait, these aren't just innocent people, they're zombies, and you need to kill the zombies, and you could use the zapper gun to shoot them. And it was just like, it was all, they like tried to change it. We're like, there are monsters in this castle and it's haunted and you have to survive, and like why the monsters are tied up and like doesn't make sense. But Nintendo tried to rebrand it for the more Nintendo-y. But like a game like that is something that I thought of where like, Jesus, like, like obviously like this game, I can't see it being ported to systems nowadays, but like using that as an example of like games that are just messed up.
Well, Nintendo was, they were worrying a lot more about that back in the day. Like you think about like Mortal Kombat and the whole blood thing. They didn't want blood. And I think they ultimately ended up with green blood, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, it was sweat.
Yeah, it was like dirty, muddy sweat.
It was like, they were just real sweaty people.
Yeah, it was really nasty.
And, so they were like super weird about that kind of stuff back in the day. But I think like, the farther we get into, Nintendo's life in the console business, it's like they've loosened up on a lot of that stuff. Like kind of after the N64, it's like once you get into the GameCube, like the GameCube era, they got a new president, which is Satoru Iwata. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think their old president, like Yamauchi, he was the one that was like, this is a lot more like family centric.
Yeah, a little more strict.
Yeah, and it's like he didn't even want to like move off of like cartridges and stuff. Like he was very like kind of more of an old school guy.
Well, they're back on cartridges.
I know, right? Once like Iwata took over, things changed a lot with like the GameCube and the DS. Like, you started seeing a lot more mature games come to the consoles, and it's not like Nintendo was making those games.
Yeah, but it's still on their system.
But
like GTA was on the DS. And,
Chinatown Wars. That game was dope.
Yeah, that was a good game.
I love that game. But there were things like I said, you had an exclusive with Capcom, so it's like Killer 7 came to GameCube. Yeah. Resident Evil 4 came to GameCube. They actually brought all the Resident Evil games, which I have like the whole series.
Yeah.
So it's like there's 0, 1, or the remake, 2 and 3, which weren't remakes, but they brought them, and then they brought 4 over as an exclusive.
I think I have 1 and 2 and 4 for GameCube, and I think that's like where my Resident Evils last. But yeah, it's cool to see, like, you're right, but there's still that old school mentality a lot of people have, because I talk to people like at my job about like Nintendo stuff, and they're like, oh, kids, Mario, it's the same thing. I'm like, you're thinking of like 1990s era, like Nintendo, like you realize that Doom is on the Switch, that Wolfenstein 2 is on the Switch, and like that's clearly not a Nintendo game, It's like get out of this old school train of thought. It's we live in a day where Nintendo has this tablet that is outselling everything, and people want to put everything on it. Yeah. The only thing that's really lacking are the big online competitive games. Yeah. Which, who knows? Maybe next year that'll come like with their new online infrastructure.
We'll see.
Well, yeah, it's interesting to look at like where it's headed.
Yeah, Nintendo's definitely like, they've always leaned heavily towards a younger market, but I think that's changing with the Switch. Like if you look at Nintendo Switch's first announcement trailer, there's not a single kid in it. It's all young adults.
That's true. Yeah, it's all our age. Yeah, they know their audience has grown up.
Yeah,
which is why I think like Zelda like veered off in such a massive direction as well. Because
it's like you look at like the Wii U versus the Switch. The Wii U's very plasticky. It's very like, looks like Play School made that. Tablet, But
it really does. It looks like one of those leapfrog tablets.
Yeah, exactly. It's super plasticky. Mm-hmm. The screen is just like, it looks like it's made by Nerf. It's just like, it's like kind of weird rubbery feeling. It's not like a very good screen. Yeah. The Switch is totally different. It's like a $300 tablet with some controllers on the end.
Like a nice sleek looking tablet too. Like, sleek. It looks good.
You drop that, you're breaking it. So it's like,
I don't know about that.
Well, that's true. It's like Nintendo, they're good at engineering things. But you know what I mean, where it's like, it's like
it looks fragile.
The Wii U tablet looks like I could throw it across the room and it would just like bounce off the wall.
Hit you in the face.
It's like that. The Switch, you want to take good care of it. You want to put it in a nice carrying case. Mm-hmm. It's like,
it looks nice. It looks like a nice like thing to display as well. Like, it's got that nice kickstand. Just looks good.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's for kids. So it's like, I think they're going in a different direction now. Mm-hmm. Still leaning towards kids with things like Mario and stuff, but knowing that their audience has grown up with them. It's like you got 30-year-olds, 35-year-olds that are...
Yeah, and so I wish these 30 and 35-year-olds would realize that there are games still meant for children, like Labo. It's like, we realize you're grown up, but
you can have the best of both worlds.
Yeah. But so speaking of Nintendo games and games that can come to Switch and stuff, I also thought it'd be cool to bring, and you brought this up before the show started, that there's a new Castlevania game in the works from Konami. Mobile game. Mobile game called Grimoire of Souls, and that's coming, and it's only for Apple. It's coming to iOS later, 2018. But I thought it was interesting because Konami seems to just not care about making games anymore. They basically said it.
They basically said, they're just like, look, we're gonna keep making our soccer game Pez and some mobile stuff, and pachinko machines. And it's like that's all they're gonna make, and it's just like, come on, Konami. It's like I don't know what happened, what like set them off into this weird. It must have been Metal Gear Solid 5. Like they must have just dumped so much money into that. And
I guess, but
Kojima took like 6 years to make it, and they're like we're done.
Yeah,
we're just so done with it.
I guess, but it's a shame because like, and I have a list of like Konami games that I miss. Like games like Contra, the Castlevania series in general. Like the first one, I think is one of the best NES games, like on that system. And then you got games like Symphony of the Night, which are just incredible. Like Symphony of the Night's amazing. Like I'd love a remastered like version of that. Like
on the Switch.
Oh, that'd be incredible, dude. Well, like games like that, Contra, like a new Contra game, and a Contra game could work. It doesn't have to be like some fully 3D rendered, action game.
I think they should
classic
keep it
2D like action. Yeah, perfectly fine with that. And then the Metal Gear series as well. But it's like Konami just all they care about is like mobile games and like gambling machines and like they're just not. I don't understand. Like I wish those IPs could be owned by like if Nintendo owned Castlevania,
that'd be so.
It'd be incredible, dude.
I actually I really wish that Konami would just sell off their franchises to companies that would do right by them. I think about Contra and even Castlevania, and I think like Yacht Club would be such a good fit for them. Think about them making a Contra game.
Yeah.
You know how rad that would be?
I think just Yacht Club in general with like old school like 2D action games or platformers, and just give them to Yacht Club.
Yeah.
Or even the guys who, I mean, I wouldn't like this because it would be Xbox exclusive, but the guys who made Cuphead. Like they could do a good job too. Like
that's true. They actually like I can't remember the brothers' names. Do you remember them?
No, not at all.
Man, I can't remember that. But they grew up on those games. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like all these like old school games they grew up on. So they'd be a good fit.
Oh, absolutely. So this new Grimoire of Souls, it'll be it's got 4v4 PvP or PvP, and it's also got PvE as well. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. I hope, I'd like to check it out just because I like Castlevania, but it just seems like not a Castlevania game to me.
It feels like they're going the same direction they did with like Metal Gear Survive, where it's just like this is just a husk of like you're just using the name, and then just making a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, and it's like I don't like the idea of like if it is gonna be like an action platformer, I don't like that on a mobile. Yeah. Unless it's designed like games like Super Mario Run and Rayman. What was it called? Rayman Jungle Run. Like
and then there's another one I can't remember the name of.
But like those games are clearly made for a mobile device because you're constantly moving, you can't go backward. Like it's all about, you don't have to do precision platforming.
Yeah.
But a game like Castlevania, from what I understand, Castlevania is just ruthless. Like enemies just flying at you in all directions. So it's like I can't imagine that on a mobile device where you can't like control exactly where you need. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see where it goes, but like it just seems like such not a Castlevania game. Like you said, like they're just using the name.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all it seems like to me. It's just very unfortunate.
Yeah, and I mean it's different like because they have another and I'm actually guilty of playing this because I grew up playing Yu-Gi-Oh! But Konami has
How dare you?
A Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game called Duel Links, and where you can make your own deck, but it works as it's just
mobile?
It's a card game and it's free to play. You get free cards or you can buy like booster packs, but you can also earn coins to just get them in the game currency. But like it's a really fun game because if you grew up playing Yu-Gi-Oh, like because there's no it's a card game, so it's really simple, really fun. It works perfectly on a mobile system. It's a game where you like I can understand this being on a mobile device. But yeah, like action platformers, especially games like Castlevania, dude. It's a shame, man.
Yeah, it's so sad to see. Like Konami, just please just sell off your video game assets. Just let somebody else.
Yeah, it's
just like do justice by them, please.
Yeah, it's like I can respect your. I mean, I don't respect it, but I can understand your decision to not want to make games anymore. Like it's your company. You do as you wish. But like, don't keep these IPs to yourself. Like, just give them to people who will make the game. Like, I mean, but they also have that Castlevania series that came out last year. I don't know if they're ever gonna
the Netflix one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making a season 2.
Are they?
And I like the series.
I liked it too.
Super short.
I know, but that kind of made me want it more. I kind of liked it more because of that. Because I wanted to see what else.
Give me like 45 episodes right now.
Konami, come on. But yeah, so those were like like the Nintendo things that I thought were kind of cool in the Konami. But like moving on to like the
what else we got?
The big thing.
Ooh,
the big thing this week, which is sitting right next to you.
Ooh.
Mr. Kratos himself.
Yeah.
So this game released yesterday. Well, today's Saturday, 4/21. So
yeah, so it's we got the game.
Yeah,
we haven't even had a chance
to
like
here's
crack
the deal.
it open and play.
I work nights. I left work Thursday night. I went straight to this place called Fry's Electronics to pick it up because
don't tell them our secret place.
Well, I need
now
to
it's out in the open.
Because I need people to beat the vultures. I'm okay if I get beat by other people that want the system, but not the vultures. So like it was pre-ordered everywhere. I took your advice. I went to Fry's. I waited in that parking lot after work. It was like I got there like 8:30. I sat there till 10 a.m. Walked right in. It was pretty empty. A few people were lined up at the door, but none of them, from what I could see, were interested in the God of War PS4. Yeah. I walked right back to the video game section. I saw it on a table next to a Labo presentation. Yeah. And I was like, the God of War PS4 Pro, is that for sale? And he's like, yeah. I was like, are there any in stock? He's like, yeah, we have a whole, we got them last night. I'm like, I want one. And the guy was like, all right, just sign here. And then he took it up to the front. I got my PS4 Pro. It was like the easiest thing in the world. Walked in and out. It took like 30 seconds. It was amazing. But like, what I want to bring up about this system, about this game, first off, it's getting amazing reviews. Yeah. Everyone seems to love it, which is awesome. There was a really emotional video that the director, Cory Barlog, put online where he was reading reviews and scores and he starts crying, and it's a beautiful thing. Like, it shows you that...
Yeah, it's real touching.
Yeah, and like it shows you that, a lot of work obviously goes into this. A lot of people care about this kind of stuff. It's their livelihood, it's their jobs. Yeah. He's creating art like for a project that he's been involved with for like 5+ years, I think.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget. There are people like behind the games that create these games.
Yeah, tons of people. Yeah, it's like a movie production. Like, there's just tons of people.
These people that put like 5-6 years into making a video game, and then they come out and they're like, "Dog, the graphics aren't good enough. Why isn't this open world? Why isn't it 900 hours?" It's just like, these people poured their heart and soul into this game for like it gets to the point that a lot of people, like after 10 years in the industry, have to just bounce for like...
and that happened with Hearthstone director. He had he stepped down, which maybe that's not the reason, but like he still stepped down after 10+ years.
But it's just one of those things, like it's not like anything was wrong. It's just like, I've been doing this for a while. I need to like take a long vacation, or I'm just gonna go do a small like
sabbatical.
It's just like you just got to bounce for a little bit.
I can imagine like the workload is so intense for these huge like multi-million-dollar productions. Like there's a lot of investment that goes into these games, a lot of time and money that goes into them. Yeah. And I just think it was kind of beautiful that like Cory Barlog just showed like how much he cares about his fans, about the people who reviewed it, and he he even said, he's like, I'm just glad I didn't fuck it up. Yeah. I'm so proud of like this moment. And so what I wanted to bring up, this is not just a gush on God of War. I'm a huge God of War fan, and I could gush on it all day. Even the old games, I love them. I've loved them since the beginning. But the hype around this game, the limited edition PS4 Pro, which is like sold out everywhere, and the pre-orders, we went to GameStop. There were no pre-orders left.
We went everywhere.
Yeah, you couldn't buy it. You couldn't buy it anywhere unless you go to Fry's. But like it seems to have sold out. So I can only imagine PS4 sales numbers, even by the end of April, like with this, it seemed to be selling out everywhere. My question is, and this is not a knock, this is not like making fun of or poking fun at, but it's like, where's Xbox's God of War limited edition bundle that's outselling, that you can't buy it anywhere? Like, where's their, that AAA title that like everyone's like, my God, I wish I had an Xbox for this game alone? Because I like, at my job, I work with a lot of editors, and they're all PC gamers because they're used to being on their computers, and even they are telling me like, oh, man, I might buy a PS4 just for God of War. Yeah, because they like it looks that good.
It's a system seller. I mean, it's just like Uncharted was. It's just like The Last of Us was. It's just that it's that one game where it's like, that's like, it's a head turner. It's like, even if you're like a PC guy, or an Xbox guy, it's like there's just these.
You can
games
appreciate greatness.
Yeah, it's like there are these games that you can't turn away from. It's Yes, I think Spider-Man's going to be like that. I think Bloodborne was kind of like that.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
Just these like killer exclusive games that. Yeah. And Switch and Nintendo kind of have those too with things like Zelda.
Well, they absolutely, and that's another thing. Like, so Metacritic, their PS4 of all time, you brought it up. Yeah. God of War is right underneath GTA 5, which I think GTA 5 is like number one on every single thing. Like,
GTA 5 is just a complete monster.
Yeah, so excluding like GTA 5, but like PS4 has, these games like Uncharted, God of War, Horizon, Bloodborne. Nintendo obviously has like Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. And it's like those by themselves are system sellers, and people want to get those games, get those systems just for those games alone. But like Xbox, Microsoft brings out the Xbox One, which is a dope console. Like that thing is, it's a beast. It's a powerhouse.
The X?
Or the Xbox One X, I'm sorry. It's a beast. It's a powerhouse. But like, their big thing is like backwards compatibility. And it's like, well, I don't want to buy this super powerful system just to play old games. Like, where's my God of War? Where's my crying Cory Barlog? Like, I want that. Like, it's just like, what's gonna happen where Xbox, they just, where's their games? Like, where's their Horizon and their Bloodborne? Like,
oh yeah, Horizon. I totally forgot about. Yeah,
Horizon. Like that's another one. Like where's like they have Forza and Halo and Gears of War, but and I don't. Maybe I'm speaking for everybody, and I don't mean to, but a lot of people seem to be tired of like Gears, and even Halo seems to have been past its prime. Yeah. So it's like, what's the next big thing? Like.
Yeah, and it's funny like Xbox. They even tried to almost buy exclusives, like they bought they had like a 1-year contract for things like Tomb Raider, like the last Tomb Raider game, but it's just one of those things that I don't even, and this was actually before the X or anything like that. This was when like PS4 was still kind of crushing it, and I don't think Tomb Raider sold too well on the Xbox One.
By itself. No, I don't think it did.
Yeah, I think it was one of those things that like people kind of waited a year and got it like the definitive edition on the PS4.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a lot of people have brought up like, well, you got PUBG, and I'm like, well, yeah, PUBG is great, and it's very popular, but it's also another example of like, you don't need the Xbox One X to play it.
Yeah, that's the other like weird thing with the Xbox, where it's just like anything you can play on the Xbox, you can play it on your computer.
Yeah, and you can soup up your PC to top specifications.
It's like I could play PUBG, I could play what's it called? It just came out. Sea of Thieves.
Oh, Sea of Thieves.
You can play Fortnite. You can play like.
Well, that's another thing. Like, Sea of Thieves has kind of been like, I don't want to say. I mean, I guess it's been a disappointment so far. Like, it just seems kind of empty. Like, there's not much to do.
There are people that definitely seem to like it, but there are a lot of people that are like, where's the content?
Yeah. It's like, I need more stuff to do. Like, it's kind of got like a No Man's Sky kind of thing going on, where it's like, it's cool, it looks nice, it's very visually interesting, but like, I just feel like there's not enough to do in it. Which is a shame, because we got to meet the guys who made it, and they're really cool. Like,
yeah, they're cool dudes. Yeah, they were super excited for people to like get their hands on the product, and it's a cool product. It's just, I think it just needs it needs more time, and it's kind of the problem with a lot of these like online games that come out, where it's just like you need to get it in the hands of like your audience, your fans, and they need to play it, and from there it'll evolve into like what it ultimately will be. Where Overwatch was when it first came out and where Overwatch is now it's a vastly different game in a lot of ways. Like, the main infrastructure is the same, but it's like all the characters have evolved because of like play styles and like
the meta.
And there's like a ton of new game modes. There's like the arcade, you can build your own or you can make your own.
Yeah, you can make your own game.
Games. You can. I mean, there's a ton there, as well as like the actual like Overwatch League, and I mean,
events.
It's just that world has just grown so much in 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's exactly like Sea of Thieves needs that. It needs that 2 years of growth. Like in 2 years, that game's probably, even a year, that game is probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I think a year from now, it's going to be exactly where we wanted it to be from day one. Yeah. And I hope it is, because, again, I like the idea of a pirate game. Yeah. I really do. Like, that's the only reason why I like Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Yeah. It's because I got to just...
We don't have enough pirate games.
I know. And that's why Ubisoft is even making Skull and Bones, which is basically Black Flag without Assassin's Creed
Which I'm
attached.
excited for that, too.
Yeah,
actually. Yeah. I think that's going to have the same issue, where it's just like the Division and stuff, where it's just like this, massively online game where people enjoy it for like a couple weeks, and it's like, well, it's not enough content.
Yeah.
But it's like the Division, Rainbow Six Siege, like all these games are kind of like that. For Honor, they've been really good at like adding tons
more
of
to
content.
it.
Like
yeah.
the Division just got a huge drop of content not too long ago.
Yeah,
it's like
I think they're making that a movie too.
Are they really?
I think they're going to make I think I read that earlier this week that they're going to make the Division a movie. Yeah, look that up, Nathan. I'm pretty sure. Nathan. I'm pretty sure that's a thing that's happening.
A movie,
I swear I read that like Jake Gyllenhaal was going to be involved in the. Maybe I dreamed this. I'm pretty sure that's a thing though. But yeah, fact check me on that. Yeah. But yeah, like again, it's happening. Boom, told you. Yeah.
I guess it is just a Tom Clancy franchise.
Oh, Jessica Chastain? Yeah, I like her. She's really good. That's actually my dream casting for Poison Ivy. Totally off topic, but if they made a Poison Ivy villain in a Batman movie, I'd like Jessica Chastain. But yeah, you're right. Like all those games were, these first service games. And I hope,
it takes a while.
It does. And I hope, and I know Sea of Thieves will get there because I really want to play that. I think it'd be super fun. Like, I saw a really funny video the other day of like these people playing, and like the dude was just steering the ship, and like he sees his teammate and he's just like, Captain, look. And he just looks to his right. There's a giant ship just about to fly into them. He's like, oh shit. It was hilarious. It was so funny.
And it's you play the game for those moments.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's why, like, I love things like Overwatch, where it's like I'm playing with friends, and there's just like moments in that game where, or actually, a good example is Fortnite. I was playing Fortnite the other day with two buddies, and some dudes came up on my two teammates. I was kind of far away, like getting supplies, and one of my teammates got downed, and it takes a while to res a teammate. It takes like 10 seconds. So you're just sitting there trying to res.
Yeah.
And so my teammate's trying to res my other teammate. And there's this guy running towards them. And I was like, oh no. And the match had just started, so I really didn't have anything. Yeah. I was like, I was like running. I grabbed a shotgun. And then there was like a shield that I chugged real quick so that I had enough to take on the fight. And this dude's running towards them. I'm like above him. And he opens a door to where my teammate's resin the other teammate. He's about to kill them, and then I just jumped down behind him and just blew him away with my shotgun.
Superhero from the sky.
I was like, no! And I was like, dude, it was so close. Like, if I had taken a second longer, they would have been dead.
That's awesome.
It's just those moments in games are so good with friends. So
yeah. And it's more fun because you're in that pirate world. If like for Sea of Thieves, I mean, like it'll be fun to do that in the pirate landscape, in the pirate world. But yeah, I just hope that. And,
kind of getting back to Tom.
Yeah, I hope Xbox creates just something like it always goes back to like the Xbox One X. Like you put so much effort into this powerful machine, but it's like.
Yeah, it's like they got the power. They got like a great backwards compatibility.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Catalog. It's like they've done a ton of work on that, and they definitely deserve some props for that. But it's just one of those things. It's like with great power comes great responsibility. And that responsibility is more exclusive games.
Yeah, and I think people, like a lot of people are thinking like Crackdown is going to be the big, but I just like that game just doesn't look.
Yeah, and it keeps getting delayed.
That too.
I think they're just in a bad place with that game.
Yeah.
Like I have this feeling that it's just nowhere close to where it needs to be, and they're just sweating bullets trying to fix it. And Xbox knows it. The developer knows it.
Yeah,
and it's just like
I think so.
Like I'm pretty sure it's just like they just had a huge scope for that game. It's like totally destructible city. Mm-hmm. Like you could just play with tons of friends. You're all in the same world. And it's just I think they just had this huge scope. and they just something went wrong.
Yeah.
And they just there's no date set for it.
There's nothing. It's just it's coming. Well, when? Don't worry about that.
And
it's
what
coming.
people have seen, everybody's been what I've seen has been okay.
Yeah.
But it's you're just
great.
seeing these vertical slices of a game, and it's just
yeah. It's people have high hopes for that. Have high hopes for Anthem is another one that.
Yeah, but not an exclusive.
Anthem's not an exclusive? Are you sure?
Yeah, no, it's on PS4 and stuff.
I thought that was an exclusive.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You want to double check me, Nathan? Anthem?
Yeah.
You texting people over there? Who you talking to?
Are you sexting? Sexting again?
Are you sexting Mick right now?
Yeah, I could have sworn Anthem was a...
No, it's
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right,
sure.
We'll see. Nathan will
I'm
backs
sure.
up. So
I'll bet a cheeseburger on it.
All right, I'll bet a cheeseburger. Last thing... It's not? Okay.
Cheeseburger!
I don't know why I thought it was. Either way, that game doesn't look that good.
They look like a bunch of Iron Mans flying around.
Yeah, just not...
Yeah. But so, anyways, kind of getting back to topic, I do feel like in about 4 years, and it's not to make a joke or anything, but I think in 3 years, 4 years, I think we're going to see some really good exclusives coming from Microsoft.
I hope so.
But the problem is that's 3 or 4 years away.
Yeah.
I think because I think Phil Spencer is an awesome head of Xbox. That dude, I just want to go have a beer with that guy.
Yeah. I love his response for Banjo-Kazooie being in Smash.
Did he say something about that?
Well, wasn't he the guy who was like, "Hey, Nintendo, just call me and we can talk about it."
Well, that's been he's kind of said that about a lot of things. He's just
but I mean, I love those responses he has to Smash, characters being in Smash. He's like, Miyamoto, just talk to me.
Yeah, it's just that's the thing. He's down to just work with people, figure stuff out. That's
he's down to call.
With with how Minecraft worked out with having that on every console and having it cross-platform. You can play that between Xbox and Switch and stuff, which is pretty rad.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
It's he's a super cool dude, and he has said the exclusives are coming. They're just going to take time.
Yeah.
It's he has said that, and
which is I think it's concerning because if we're talking 3 to 4 years down the line, by that time, is the PS5 out? Yeah, is there a Switch 2.0?
I think so. The hint is 2020 is kind of when,
right?
At least a new the Xbox 2 or whatever they want to call it. The Xbox 160.
It's wait, that's going backwards. The 180.
They could go with the 180, I guess.
I think it'd be really funny.
But it's you look at consoles and there's this weird roller coaster effect where it's just you think about the PS2 is at its absolute peak, and then I think they just got cocky. They came out with a $600 console with the PS3, and then they just tanked.
Just plummeted.
And then Microsoft took over. They had great exclusives. They were crushing it. Eventually, Sony caught up with the PS3 at the very end of the
or caught up with the 360.
Yeah, as far as sales and stuff goes. But then with the Xbox One, I think they got cocky again, Microsoft did, and they're like, "Oh, there's going to be you're always online, you can't share games, all this stuff," and everybody's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, I remember the huge flack that they got for saying it always needs to be online.
Yeah, and it's you have to use the Kinect 2.0.
Oh god,
it comes with every console.
Oh my god,
it's a $500 system.
Forgot about all that stuff.
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Nope, PS4, $400, I'm there." And it's and then everybody jumped ship. And now, literally Sony's back as top seller again. Mm-hmm. And who knows? It's the next system. They might get cocky again. They might dip. Microsoft, I'm sure whatever Microsoft's next console is, I think they're already talking about it. 2020 is going to hit. It's here's the Xbox 180. Here's, a new Gears, a new Halo, Crackdown 3, because that's not coming out anytime soon. Here's a revved up version of Sea of Thieves, and here's 3 new IPs. And just come out swinging hard.
Yeah. I wonder if by then, with new consoles being made, if they're, both, and this is both for Sony and Microsoft, if they're planning on doing anything to combat the Switch. The Vita was, before the Switch, obviously, but the Vita never really did well. So I wonder if they
have... well in Japan.
Yeah, in Japan. But here for the States, I mean, like, I wonder if they're going to try and develop something to combat the Switch. I mean, it
doesn't seem like it.
I don't think so either, but it's just, like, you can see how it's such a game changer, the Switch by itself. Like, you know, the way that Nintendo and, like, games like developers like Bethesda are figuring out how to put these huge games, like, compressing them for the Switch, and they work perfectly fine. I just wonder if Sony and Xbox are going to try and do something along those lines.
Yeah.
I can't see how, because it would be like I mean, it was a step out of the norm for Nintendo, but it was more in line with like Wii U. But like, that's not Sony and Microsoft's game at all. So it's like, I wonder if they're going to try and be like, we need to combat the Switch, or are we going to stick to our guns?
Yeah.
Because I know Sony, like, and they've said this before, and like Sean Layden even told us in person, where like their thing is like solo campaign adventures.
Yeah.
Great storytelling. That's our bread and butter. That's what we're sticking to. So they don't need to like change up their style or anything. And it seems like Microsoft, I don't know what their plan is, but
yeah. But it sounds like this might be a good bonus round topic.
Yeah.
Should we do that?
Maybe. I don't mind. We can keep going.
I think we can.
Where are we at on time?
Oh, we're there.
We're there. We reached it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we might have to turn this into a little bonus round.
Yeah, we can turn that into a bonus round.
Yeah, I think that's a good little interesting topic we can talk about.
I like these little segues we do at the end of shows where we're like, we're going to talk more about that in the bonus round. Yeah. We did that for the Smash thing as well.
And, you know, I wish I could say we do it on purpose, and we totally don't.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, that's an interesting topic. That's probably going to be about a 20-minute conversation, and I think that's a perfect fit for the bonus round.
I think it is. All right. Well, then I'm going to just
close that
down for you audio listeners. I closed my laptop.
Let's get a good sound there for the audio listeners.
There it is. You heard that creak?
How'd that sound, Nathan? Nice. You get a little kiss.
Perfecto.
Mamma mia.
Oh, linguini.
Cool. All right. So that's our show, everybody. Thanks for sticking around, having a good time with us. I think this is a good show.
I thought it was. We don't need Guillermo.
Yeah, dude, that guy could stay wherever he is.
Yeah, like on the plane.
Yo, get on that plane and just fly away, dog.
He's just staying there forever. He's just gonna fly in circles and just be on that plane. He lives there now.
Just do circles for life. We don't need you.
He owns the plane.
But anyways, so yeah, thanks for sticking around. Be sure to follow us, check us out, all that fun stuff. You can check us out on our personal stuff. My Twitter is @ZachMatzganis, that's ZACKMATZGANIS.
And I'm also on Twitter @MultiplayerHav, and if you want to cop my Insta, that's Instagram.
The kids call it the Gram.
The Gram. Is it? I thought it was Insta.
Instagram.
I'm at Jumpman_Ortiz.
Nice.
And, yeah.
You can also follow our boy over here, Nathan.
Resident fact checker.
there you go. That's your new title.
I like that.
But you can follow him at Multiplayer Nath. Multiplayer Nath on
right? Twitter.
Yeah,
that's right. Let's check that.
Let's fact check that.
And then we also have Mick at Mick to the Wood, and then I think it's Guillermo_Dorado on
is his Twitter, and then Mas Dorado is Instagram for
or
Guillermo.
Vice versa, one or the other.
It's one of those.
Maybe one of these days he'll come back to the show and he'll tell us.
One of these days I'll look it up. And then I'll get it for sure, but this is not that day.
But be sure to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. iTunes, Google Play, whichever you prefer there.
Comment on my ugly face.
Check us out on the YouTube side. And please check out our Patreon, patreon.com/multiplayer, where you can follow us for like $1 or $2 a month if you can. If not, no big deal. But we do have bonus rounds, like we were just talking about, that you're going to get 2 of those a month. And they're a good time.
Just timed exclusives.
It's so you get them every other Friday on Patreon, and then a week later on YouTube and iTunes and all that fun stuff. So, that's the show. Hope you liked it.
Good stuff.
If you hated it or loved it, just tell us.
Let me know.
Let us know. Give us some feedback. Send us some messages. We like that stuff.
Also, just a huge shout out to our boy DJ CUTMAN for dropping them hot beats for our intro and outro. He's also got a lot of dope music in general on his personal Patreon, just DJ CUTMAN.
Yep.
And his like SoundCloud stuff. But so shout out to my boy. He's really cool.
Yeah. All right. Until next guy.
Dude,
I almost had it. We almost finished the show. Anyways, until next time, keep on grinding. We'll see you at this. Dude, I can't
see you at the respawn because we love you.
Later. We'd like to give a big old special thank you to Jaden Lawrence, Arturo Madeira, and Mercha Dan Kroll-Patariu. If you want to receive shoutouts like these awesome, beautiful people, be sure to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/multiplayered. See you next time, players.